when it should be written as it's, many English people write it as it's. It's with an apostrophe.
Do you think that you make many mistakes in English? Are you sometimes not sure whether your email has been written correctly? Don't worry, you're not alone. Here we have a list of 7 common mistakes that lots of English people make when writing or speaking. You won't believe it, but even professional letters from business people often contain these mistakes. Yes, even from people working in language schools or government bodies.
Welcome to our new video. This is Ira and I'm Markus. We are 2 foreigners who moved to England over 20 years ago. In our channel we want to teach you some English from the perspective of a foreigner and also show you some important cultural differences of England compared to your country. Some words in English with totally different meanings are liable to be confused as they are pronounced in a similar way or have similar spellings. Even English native speakers find these words confusing, so even they make mistakes writing them. In this video, we would like to share some of these words that we think are very tricky as they look and sound similar. The main problem with those mistakes is that you have learned the correct way in school, then you come to England and see it done in a different way. You then may think that's another way of doing so, as you can't believe that a native speaker would make a mistake like that, and you start making the same mistake as well, just to fit in. It happened to me when I came to England 24 years ago. Obviously, later I recognized that it was native English people who made that particular mistake, and I corrected myself to what I had learned in school originally.
Common mistake number 1. H. The following used to be a clear mistake, but because more and more people were making it, it became a kind of accepted mistake and not so much of a clear mistake anymore. So, H or H? Did you know that some British speakers pronounce the letter H as H? We all learned the English alphabet in schools such as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. But if you travel to the UK, don't be surprised when you hear people say the letter H as H. The standard or correct version of English is H. British English dictionaries give H as the standard pronunciation for the letter H. But the reality is that nowadays, both pronunciations are commonly used and some native speakers will switch between both. H is a standard pronunciation in Irish English and is increasingly being used by native English-speaking people all across the country, especially by young people and school children.
Common mistake number 2. Loose or lose. Both words have the exact same pronunciation. Loose. Many English people make the mistake and write loose when they mean loose, or vice versa. Loose with double O means something that isn't tied up anymore, like a loose shoelace. Oh, my shoelaces are loose. Loose with one O only is a verb that is used together with an object, something that is gone that you can't find anymore. Example, don't lose that key. Past form example, I have lost my key. You will come across many people making the mistake of misspelling it.
So common mistake number 3. Should have or should have? The third mistake we want to talk about is one that I personally cringe about when reading it. It's just so wrong. Should have. Sooner or later you come across English people writing should have instead of should have, or could have instead of could have, could be would have instead of would have. Please note, there is no should, could or would of. There is only should, could or would
have.
Why do people do that and make that terrible mistake? They simply write down what they've heard. Let me give you an example and listen carefully. My friend invites me to a house party and I would be delighted to join, but unfortunately, I've made plans already. So I reply, I would have loved to come, but I can't as I'm going to the theatre with my husband that night. When we're talking, it sounds as if I'm saying, I would have loved to, or I would have loved to, doesn't it? I would have loved to come, but I can't, as I'm going to the theatre. But in fact, these words are really contractions, which are short words made by putting two words together. The apostrophe shows where the letters should be if the words were written in full. In our case, would have, would have. Could have, could have. Should have, should have. When people write would have, should have, could have, they're usually confusing the verb have with the preposition of. So, should of is should have. Could of is
Could have.
and there are some examples. I would have come earlier, but I got stuck in traffic. So wrong. Correct is I would have come earlier, but I got stuck in traffic. Or another example, you should have called yesterday. No, no, no. Correct is
You should have called yesterday.
Well done. Remember that these words aren't spelled the way they sound. You might say shoulda, woulda, coulda, but you should spell them should have, could have, and would have. Should of, could of, or would of are not correct and should never be used in writing.
Common mistake number 4. There, there, there. All three words are pronounced the same, there. And many English people write the wrong word when they actually mean another one. Let's start with our first word, there. It's an adverb which means that place or position. For example, we went to Germany and stayed there for 2 weeks. There is often about location. Please stay there. The school is over there. It is also about location in the more abstract sense. There you go. My wife is always there for me.
Yes.
We also use there as the first word in sentences that have the subject after the verb. There is a nice park nearby. Subject is park, and there is used to introduce the subject part of the sentence. There is also used with the verb be at the beginning of sentences and questions. There are plenty available. Is there a car outside? There's also the opposite of here, and you can easily remember how to spell it as it has here inside the word there. There is a possessive form of they. Possessive words are the words that demonstrate ownership, belonging to or relationships. There are the following possessive forms: I, my, you, your, he, she, it, his, her, its, we, our, you, your, and they, their. For example, it's their home. Shows belonging and ownership. Children should be nice to their school teachers. Shows relationship. Hint to remember the spelling: there has the word er in it, which can act as a reminder that the term indicates possession. The spelling can easily be remembered also as you see that nearly all possessive forms, your, her, our, their, have an R at the end. They are is a contraction of two words, they are. It's just to make it shorter, like don't is an abbreviation of do not. Example, they are lovely people. They are lovely people. I'm saying here they are lovely people, but again, when we speak naturally, we simply say there. You can remember that apostrophes indicate the possessive only when used as apostrophe s, such as Jack's book or my friend's car. Otherwise, it's generally a contraction of two words, as in can't, cannot, or won't, will not. There is used in two ways. The first is when are is used as a linking verb with nouns and adjectives. They are best friends. They are best friends. They are happy. They are happy. It can be used of non-living things too. They are two of our biggest fears. The second use with a verb in its ing form, they are reading a book, that is, they are reading a book, it's in present continuous tense and shows an action that is happening right now. Simply try to remember that this spelling with the apostrophe shows that there are two words combined, they and are. So, there you go. They're not easy words to remember, but once you practice, we are sure you master their spellings and meanings. Just to summarize, there is the most common. It has the word here in it, which is helpful because it's often about location. There always means they are. There is the possessive form of they and has the word er in it, which can act as a reminder that the term indicates possession. The most common mistake I have seen English people make is, for example, in their opinion, it wasn't a good decision. The spelling of there is completely wrong. Which one of the theirs should it be? Correct. It should have been there. In their opinion, it wasn't a good decision. One last example. The church is over there. Again, there is spelled incorrectly. Which there should it have been? Correct. It should have been there. The church is over there.
Common mistake number 5. Your. All three have the same pronunciation, but what is the difference? All three words are pronounced the same or in a very similar way. And again, many English people write the wrong word when they actually mean another one. Your. Your is a possessive adjective that shows possession and refers to something a person has or owns. Other possessive adjectives are my, your, his, her, its, our, your, and their. We mentioned them earlier. For example, your car. You have a car. Your car is new. It's not my car, it's your car. The word your sits before another word. Usually it's a noun or a pronoun to show it belongs to you. For example, your leg, your house, or it's of you, your photograph, your handprint, or it's related to you. For example, your mother. Your. Your is a contraction of you are. It has no other uses. This is a 100% rule. If you cannot expand it to you are in your sentence, then it's wrong. For example, please don't forget to buy milk when you're in a shop. Expands to you are, so it's correct. Or another one, you are beautiful inside out, expands to you are. So it is correct. You are beautiful inside out. So there is another example. There are lots of beautiful flowers in your garden. Wrong. Does not expand to you are. This would sound simply weird. There are lots of beautiful flowers in you are garden. No, should be your. One more example for you. You said that you could not believe your eyes. Wrong. Does not expand to you are. Should be your. We thought we would mention another word, which is your, as it sometimes gets confused with your. Your is a noun meaning a time long ago or former times. It's used in the same manner as days gone by, olden times, and so on. Your nowadays is only used together with the word of in front of it. Of yore. For example, in the days of yore, the internet did not exist. Or my grandfather often talks about his life of yore as a small boy. Just to summarize, your shows some kind of possession, as in your car. Your is just the abbreviation of you are. Your or of your means a long time ago. The most common mistake we found English people make is to write your instead of you are, your. For example, you're beautiful inside out should be you are beautiful inside out, as in you are beautiful inside out.
Common mistake number 6. It's and its. How often do we see this mistake in emails? Too often. And it's always in one of the two ways. When it should be written as its, many English people write it as its. It's with an apostrophe. It's with an apostrophe is simply an abbreviation of it is. Like don't is an abbreviation of do not. Example, it's my car. It is my car. It's without an apostrophe is the possessive adjective of the pronoun it. An example, I like their wardrobe. Do we have its height? So many English people would write, do we have its height? It's with an apostrophe. This is so wrong. With the height, we refer to the height of the wardrobe, which is a thing, not a person. A wardrobe has a neutral gender in the English language. If it was about a boy, we would ask, do we have his height? If it was a girl, we would ask, do we have her height? When it's a thing, we have to ask, do we have its height?
Common mistake number 7. Pronunciation and to pronounce. This is not a written mistake, but rather a spoken one. The noun pronunciation is often called by people pronunciation, which is a noun that doesn't exist. It happens because the verb of pronunciation is to pronounce. So many people mix pronunciation up with to pronounce and mistakenly say pronunciation. To recap, the verb is to pronounce and the noun is pronunciation. Now you know and hopefully won't be ever making that mistake. Do you have any other common mistakes you came around when reading English texts or listening to English people? If so, please write them down in the comments below.
That's it for today. Hope you found our video useful. Please don't forget to like this video and to subscribe to our channel. Bye for now.
Bye!